that the COS for an healthcare assistant seems to be the most popular, easy to come by, it's free of IHS charge, and then it's just easy to come by, doesn't make it a job for you. I know a lot of students who are also crossing over to, the healthcare sector, getting their COSs in the healthcare sector. The fact that it is popular, it is cheap, it is affordable, everything looks yummy with it, doesn't make it the job for you. As a matter of fact, you cannot do the job of an healthcare assistant. Don't be deceived by the packaging or how it looks like. Anyways, if it was that much of an easy job, why do you think there's so much opportunity for it? Why are the people here not taking up the jobs? That should give you something to ponder on, right? Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is the Olajumoke Balao. If this is your first time on my channel, I want to say a warm welcome to you. And if this is not your first time, you've liked, you've shared, you've commented, you've subscribed, you've told a friend to subscribe, guys, you're the real deal, and I want to say thank you. I want to dive in right now on today's video because the thing is doing me. All right, so you cannot do the job of an healthcare assistant. I don't want to say you cannot become, but you cannot do the job. The fact that everything about it makes it look like this is the best option, this is palatable, this is easier, doesn't mean that you can do the job. And I will tell you the reasons why I said you cannot do the job of an healthcare assistant. I will gracefully lay out, my reasons, and I want you to think with me on this before you jump on it, coming to the UK as an healthcare assistant. Number one, if you have greed in your eyes, like you are greedy, you have ojukokoro, you cannot become an healthcare assistant. I will explain. Now, you will agree with me that the most companies that give out, these COSs for healthcare assistants are domiciliary companies because a lot of people keep running away from the job. Now, I've worked as a domiciliary healthcare assistant, and you move from one individual's home to the other to take care of them. You make them breakfast, you make sure they're comfortable, go back for their lunch and all like that. And in the process of you making their breakfast, take notes, you have not even eaten, most likely not eaten from your house, and you keep making their breakfast. In the process, unconsciously, a lot of people already start to leak the things they are doing for them, or the urge for the thing that you keep seeing every morning. Marmalade jam today, blackcurrant jam tomorrow. They tell you, give me the orange, the strawberry, and you are seeing lots of things, and the smell is, it's just funny, morose, like, and you are tempted. You have a bite. Error. If you know that you cannot see things and take your eyes off them, this job is not for you because you will see a lot of things. As a matter of fact, even in your very hungry moments, you will see a lot of things. Do not be tempted to eat it because a lot of these homes have cameras. Imagine you being reported that you ate out of the food you are supposed to make to take care of someone, and you never know who is watching. If you are greedy, or you can't see somebody's money and take your eyes off it, you think nobody will know, it's not the job for you. You cannot do the job because you will be having access to a lot of things that are not yours. Do you have enough self-control? If you do not have it, you cannot do the job. I have had to buy things that I normally wouldn't buy because I keep seeing it every day, and I'm like, what does this thing even taste like? I go buy my own. I might now buy it and not even take it more than once, but at least that thing about wanting to say what does it taste like, I've killed it. So if you are greedy, you have ojukokoro, you don't have self-control to be able to take your eyes off things, people's things, could it be money, could it be food, could it be anything, it's not the job for you, right? Number two, if you have low self-esteem, you cannot do this job. Now, back home in Nigeria, let's take our house helps, for example. My house help is so important. I cannot do without my house help. I cannot do the job that she does. And that's why I hired her. Doesn't make her lower because she's doing something that I cannot do. Let's look at it from that aspect. Now you have so low self-esteem, you come to do the job of an healthcare assistant. It can damage you more if you do not have any self-esteem. Because at some point you come to a realization and then you're like, oh really, I'm doing this? You mean I'm doing this? I mean, some things you would not have done in your home, back in your home country, when you're an healthcare assistant, you get to do those things. And then you're working with colleagues, you have white colleagues, and then you are unable to speak when they are speaking because you are thinking that, who am I to speak when they are talking? Or they ask for your opinion, you have nothing to say. You will just keep being intimidated, every time you go to work and you have to work with these people, white people, your colleagues, and then you keep getting intimidated. You're not free, you are not expressive, you are just there, and then they keep tossing you here and there because you've got no self-esteem. If there's anything wrong with the job, actually, they shouldn't be doing it as well, but they are doing it. So the fact that you're doing this job doesn't make you less in any way. Are we together? Because a lot of people are just like, when something is even going wrong where they are working, they cannot speak up, they cannot complain, or somebody speaks to you in a rude and uncouth manner, you cannot address it. You can't, because you will almost be depressed all the time. You will be unhappy going to work to say, well, those people, they will start telling me to do this, they will start pushing things, and you cannot speak up for yourself. People with low self-esteem cannot do this job because it will end up for you in depression, right? Number 3, if you don't have stamina, because if I keep saying it, if this job was easy, why are there so much opportunities that the people here are not able to fill in? It's not an easy job. A lot of people run away from it. So if you are coming to say, this is the job I want to do, it's not flexo and it's not soft life. It's a tedious job. Like a friend was telling me that she counted 20,000 steps in a day in her office, in her place of work. 20,000 steps. How many steps do you take in a day on a normal? How many steps? Now imagine somebody having 20,000 steps. Some jobs are easy, some jobs are not easy. And I'm specifically telling you that being an healthcare assistant is not an easy job. You can't do this job because you're used to sitting down in one office, calling somebody to come here, calling somebody to do this. Can you do that? Can you? Now you are the one fully in charge and doing all of it. You must have the stamina for it. If you've got health issues, like you do a lot of bending, you do a lot of movement, you do a lot of things. Do you have the stamina? Can your health, take all of this kind of job? I also hear a lot of people say, I wish I started this job when I was younger. Now, I'm getting too old. Hello? At my place of work, I saw a Nigerian woman. She is 58 years old. She just got employed. 58. Imagine a 58-year-old woman back home in Nigeria. She's got people who do things, a lot of things. But here, 58, just taking up this job. And she was even asking for more shifts. So it's not by age, but you must have the stamina, you must have the wherewithal, your health must be in great shape for you to be able to do this job. If not, you cannot do this job of an healthcare assistant. Another reason why I said you can't do this job is if you are easily irritable, like you can't stand, somebody's vomit. You can't stand the sight of blood. You can't stand the sight of poo. You can't do this job because you will see a lot of all of these things. Now you're taking care of old people that have become children again, who repeat the same thing over and over and over and over, that even in your sleep, you're hearing their voices like, oh, I'm having a heart attack. You are easily irritable. You can't clean somebody's vomit, you can't change diapers. You're like, oh shit, oh, it's not the job for you. Or you're like, I cannot be seeing somebody's nakedness, or all of those kind of things. Then this job is not for you. You can't do it. You can't do the job of an healthcare assistant. Because the kind of things that you will see on some days, you will shiver, your body will shiver. So if you're easily irritable, this job is not for you. It's not. Now, if you are not strong-hearted, I cannot count the number of people who have passed on in my presence. I cannot count it. Like, in all my life, I haven't seen, like, come face to face with people who, they are on the verge of passing on, and who eventually pass on, right before you. You've got to be strong-hearted. And if this doesn't do anything for you, it does something for me. It tells me that this life is actually a journey. So in a way, it kind of bring me closer to the real reality that I'm just here for some time. But if you're not strong-hearted, you can't stand it. I've heard people say that, oh, I'm traumatized. I can't go into the room. I can't, because the proper thing to do is when somebody passes on and you are on duty, you don't just leave. You take care of the person, even though the person is passed on. You try to dress the person properly so that when their relatives come, they don't see them in such a bad state. Even though they are no more, they still look presentable. So I've had to do that a number of times. You've got to be strong-hearted. If you are not, it's not the job for you. Because if such things keep happening and then you keep saying I'm traumatized, and before you know it, the eyes will be on you to say, didn't you know what this job entailed? Didn't you know that you had such encounters on the job? So if you're not strong-hearted, it's not the job for you. As much as possible, I keep saying that this job is so important, and that's why they need a lot of hands to help on this job. And that's why it looks like it's the easiest, is they understand the health impact as well. That's why they said no IHS fee, because they know that you're putting everything at risk to be with these people, to help these people, and it goes a long way. So if you've never had to take care of a child, talk less of an adult, it's going to be difficult. It's not a walk in the park. It's not like, let's just go do it. And that's why a lot of people are unhappy, unhealthy, they are depressed. They keep looking down on themselves that I can't imagine. So a whole me, a whole me doing this job. There's dignity in labor over here, not way back in my home country where, you look down on people, you say it's a mechanic. Mechanics are ballers here. Plumbers are ballers here. These people even earn way more than a lot of people with their white collar sitting in front of a laptop. And that's the honest truth. If your car breaks down here, by the time you know how much comes out of your pocket, you know that, man, Sikiru in Nigeria more, is a baller. They are ballers here, over here, So you've got to know exactly what you're in for. Don't say because it's the job for everyone, everybody can do it. I've had people who have, had palpitations when they saw the state of somebody they were meant to go take care of. Like, how can somebody be in this state and they couldn't? You've got to be brave. And I'm not saying that you cannot, work on this, attributes, but it's not a job. If you know that you're extremely on the low side of any of these things I've said, it's not a job for you, sincerely. There are other jobs that you can do. In fact, healthcare sector, if you're being employed as a cook in the healthcare sector, you're still working in the healthcare sector. As a cleaner in the healthcare sector, you're still working in the healthcare sector. It's a dignifying job. It's a job that is a job that you're being thanked so much for doing. The families of these people you're taking care of really appreciate you. It's not a low job. And I hear people say, back in our own country, saying, this is your job, I can't do it. So, I cannot even do it. But yes, you ask for money from this same person, and the person is giving you money made from this same job that you are saying you cannot do. Stop playing. Are you playing with me? Stop playing. It's not an easy job, honestly, but it's a job that can be achieved. Just make sure that if you fall in any of these categories and it's really bad, please don't come near this healthcare assistant job. All right, that's it on today's video. I just thought to drop this to you because a lot of people are like, what is this, irritated and all. So you need to know, is this job for you or not for you? If it's not for you, please just gently look away and look for better jobs that you think can fit your personality, or you've got attributes that suit those kind of jobs and not necessarily the healthcare assistant job. Thank you so much for being a part of this video. I want to say, if you've not liked, you've not shared, you've not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Let's engage in the comment section. Smash the notification button so that when I upload my next video, you'll be the first to see it. Thank you and see you again soon. Bye for now.